Good evening and welcome to the special edition of India Decides. I'm Barkha Dutt, and on the program today, we'll be asking a critical question. Is India now headed for early election? Has the UPA been plunged into crisis? And also worryingly, is India's foreign policy being dictated to and determined by the UPA's desperation for political survival? All these questions have become relevant on a day when the UPA has pulled the plug on the UPA, withdrawing its ministers from the cabinet. The DMK has demanded changes to the United Nations draft on Sri Lanka. There might still be a window for reconciliation. Will a parliamentary resolution against Sri Lanka's record on human rights bring the DMK back to the fold? Or is the UPA now destined to be a lame duck government? Here's the cold fact. The Congress now needs both Mulayam Singh Yadav and Mayawati if the DMK doesn't come back for basic survival, not to mention getting bills through. The government is putting on a brave face, saying that they will survive with or without the DMK. But as the government now prepares to bring in a parliamentary resolution on Sri Lanka, is our foreign policy being dictated by the UPA's desperation for survival? These were some of the questions I put to Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kamal Nath, speaking to me earlier in an exclusive interview when I asked him how desperate was the UPA for political survival, and would India's foreign policy now be held hostage to domestic politics? You're still smiling. Does that mean that in the back channels there could still be a formula, a peace formula that will bring the DMK back to the fold?
We'll continue talking to the DMK. Some of their concerns are valid, and we'll try and find convergence.
The talks failed when three ministers went to meet with Karunanidhi, Chidambaram, Ghulam Nabi Azad and Antony. Those talks failed. What gives you reason to believe that there's a window open?
Well, the UN resolution has only come late last night.
Yeah.
And we are looking at it today. The DMK believes that resolution is not satisfactory. We are examining it. And if that resolution is not satisfactory, well, we will find ways which make it satisfactory. It should be satisfactory to India first. It's not a question of being satisfactory to the DMK. It's important, the sensitivities of the DMK are important, but it must be satisfactory. It's just come late last night to us. And we are looking at the resolution is being examined at all levels. Then we will continue to engage with the DMK. So India could propose some amendments to the resolution at the UN HCR? If need be, because we are looking at a resolution which must be adequate, must really meet the concerns of the Tamil people. We can't have a resolution which is just going through the motions of a resolution. It must have substance and teeth. The
DMK has indicated that one of the possible solutions for it to return to the fold is a resolution in India's parliament, in our parliament. Is the government open to this? And I ask you this because it's a serious question for India. Just now you had our parliament passing a unanimous resolution objecting to Pakistan interfering in the Afzal Guru execution or on the issue of Jammu and Kashmir. Are we willing to take a risk and bring in a similar resolution that pertains to another country in our houses?
It's not a question. It's a question of human rights. We are still examining all these issues. We've not taken any decision to have a resolution or not have a resolution.
But you're open to the idea of a parliamentary resolution?
We are open to the idea to examine it.
Okay.
And talk to other political parties on this, because there's a sensitivity in this. The Tamil people strongly feel about this. It doesn't matter to those countries which don't have a Tamil population. And it's not the Tamils only living in Tamil Nadu, it's Tamils across the world. They have sentiments and they have sensitivities on this. So we have to look at it very holistically.
What are you picking up from other parties? That's your job as Parliamentary Affairs Minister, to create a consensus on this.
Well,
are you picking up from the principal opposition parties that they would support a Sri Lanka specific parliamentary resolution?
Well, I have not talked to any party, but the BJP has already come out publicly and said they don't want to support any country specific resolution, and they met certain points. That's the BJP's point of view.
That will not stop you from bringing a parliamentary resolution?
If we have to, we will have to look at it from our point of view, from the country's point of view, and from other political parties' view.
But the criticism, Kamal Nath, of your government will be that your foreign policy, this country's foreign policy, is being dictated by your government's need to survive. Should political survival dictate foreign policy choices?
No, I don't think so. It's not dictated by survival. As I said so right in the beginning, we got to see that it meets India's interests, not whether it meets the interests of the DMK or the demands of the DMK. If it meets India's interests, we will go ahead with anything. It doesn't stop us. We've just got the UN resolution last night. And that's what we are examining, whether it meets the interests of India. From that perspective, we have to take a decision.
You're not being dictated by your desperate need to survive.
There's no question of desperate need to survive because
you have the budget to be passed, you have legislation to be passed.
Absolutely.
If the DMK pulls out, then you need both Mayawati and Mulayam Singh Yadav to stick with you on your key legislation.
In any parliamentary democracy, you see this in the United States, you see this in Germany, you see this in France. You do seek the support of other parties. And so
but you're a government in a minority. Mamata Banerjee walks out, DMK backs out. Technically, you're a government in a minority.
Well, technically, we want a government in majority even on day one. That's the reality. And in any parliamentary democracy, this is what is there in all countries. It's there in India. So we have the numbers. So it's not that to survive we need the DMK. We will have the numbers. We will.
You do not need the DMK to survive?
No. If the DMK pulls out, we still have the numbers. The government is stable.
Mathematically?
Mathematically.